All right, Chris, before we get started, I need to talk to you and everyone else out there about what I consider to be the most important part of an outfit, your hat. You got one. You got your melon right now. It's perfect, well timed for this read here. If you wear the same hat over and over again and it starts to smell, you get sweat stains, things break down, you're doing it wrong. You need a hat to keep up with you. And that's where Melon comes in, Melin. These aren't your average hats. Melon makes the most premium and durable headwear in the world, whether you're tailgating, working out on the golf course, heading out for date night, whatever the case may be, you need a Melon. They're built to last 5 times longer than any other hat. I've been wearing my Melon for the past few months. No sweat stains, no smell. Looks as good as when I took it out of the box. And I get a ton of compliments on it every time I wear it. Even better, they have a ton of options depending on the season. We're heading into the fall, in the winter. We have a full thermal collection with different levels of warmth to keep you on the go. In the summer, if it's warm, you're jumping in the pool, you need something from the Hydro collection. So if you're looking for a hat that's as tough as you are, check out Melon. You won't be interested in anything else after you get one for yourself. That's Melon, MELIN.com. Chris, we finally get the chance to talk about a victory this week,
Ooh.
which is really cool on a number of levels. It was funny. After London, I walked in the locker room and I talked with Dietrich Wise. And afterward, I said, look, I'm getting tired of asking you guys all, the same questions, the same muted tones. And he just kind of hung his head and said, I know. I know. So they got to win. The locker room was way different this week. Obviously, I want to start by getting some of your early impressions about the 25-22 win over the New York Jets.
We got it done, right? I think that's as much as we can really talk about this. There was nothing great in this game. Although I did say I did like the way that Christian played. I thought he played with a little bit more physicality. He stood up there. He got in freaking Devontae Adams' face, who's a very, very talented wide receiver and probably the best, one of the better receivers in the league. So I was happy to see that. Our guys, I mean, defense play physical, man. I expect that from these guys every week in and week out. I thought that they didn't back down from Rodgers. They were in his face. They were trying to get him on the ground. I love seeing that. Offensively, I mean, I was probably cursing at the TV more often than not, with the drop balls and the inconsistency. But listen, we got plays from guys when we needed them. We got a big time special teams play. And we were able to cap it off, right? We were able to, at the end, listen, man, I'm biting all my dang fingernails when we're in the red zone. He does, and Butte doesn't get in. He's on the 1 yard line. I'm just like, good God, like this would be it. This would be the season right here for me if we got stopped on fourth down. And luckily we didn't, and we pulled it off. And like the Jets are the Jets. They will always be the Jets. And I was happy to get that win in Foxborough. And we can talk about something somewhat positive this week.
It strikes me in this it was underscored on Sunday, and it's just a weekly reminder as to how slim the margin for error is in the National Football League each and every week. Excuse me. That you can make a case that this team is probably 4 or 5 plays away from being 4-4.
Yeah.
And then
like
the flip side is,
too.
yeah, I mean, then the flip side is obviously that you can look at, if Mike Gesicki holds onto the football and the Jets make a play and, hold the Patriots out of the end zone, they're 0-8. So I just, it's one of the things for me that just makes football so great, that it's just such a game of just the narrowest of margins.
Game of inches.
Yeah.
Al Pacino, any given Sunday.
Exactly. Exactly. I think, and again, I think that's one of the great things about football. Another one of the great things about football is the rivalries. And you still had that energy post-game. Guys in the locker room were talking about, beating the Jets means a little bit more, especially after the job that they did a few weeks ago, 24-3, the Thursday night game, that maybe the Jets were talking a little bit, maybe the Jets were feeling themselves a little bit. And to be able to win at home, win a divisional game at home, that's big anyway. But to be able to beat the Jets, that's still there. I was a little bit skeptical about the idea of, the Jets still being the Jets. But the language that a lot of guys used in the locker room showed me that, look, it still means something to beat New York.
100%. It always did. It didn't matter what point of the season we were playing these guys. That's a division rival, man. That is in your division, statement game. I don't care what your record is or what it reflects on your season, but like when you have division games, especially when they come into your place, I mean that means something. Um, and like the Jets for everything that we heard going through the season. I mean, they were supposed to be in contention, and it hasn't been that way for them, and yet we're still talking about them every single week for some reason. And to go out, play the game, play it well enough, have some things go our way, have them miss a couple field goals, extra points, whatnot. That's football though, right? Like we said, that happens, and we were able to finish it off in the end zone. So I was happy for that team. Happy that Jacoby was able to come in, play well enough to get that win, and we're moving on. Let's go build off of it a little bit. Like let's get 2 in a row for geez. Let's talk about some positive things next week too. This is a winnable game next week too.
We're going to get to some of the good and the bad from this game, Chris, but I wanted to ask you specifically about your feelings around Jacoby Brissett and seeing him return to the game like that and seeing Ramondre Stevenson have the game that he had. I think it displayed really, as far as I was concerned, a level of mental toughness, not just physical
Yeah.
toughness. You know what it
Yeah.
takes to survive in the National Football League. You have to be physically tough, but to be able to stay engaged like that over the last couple of games as the backup quarterback, and then Drake May goes down, and you hop right back in. And look, there were struggles at the start. The offense was a little ragged there at the end of the second quarter, but to be able to guide touchdown drives with a game on the line, big divisional game, I think that says something about Jacoby Brissett that we kind of knew before, but it would just kind of vindicated a lot of thoughts that a lot of people had about that guy.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for me, I saw Drake go down, and I was not concerned at all. I know the type of player that Jacoby is. I think that we've all seen that. You guys have seen it, and the way that he speaks to the media, the way that he speaks about the team and himself, and just this whole process that he has gone through since Drake got drafted was he was a team guy. He was here. He was here to compete. He was here to play. He wasn't here just to be a backup. And listen, it is what it is, and it's unfolded the way that it's unfolded. But I guarantee you that he prepared the way just like a starter, and I think that showed. It's hard to just come into a game and be in a rhythm right away. So I knew that was going to take a little bit of time. But once he got in there, we didn't miss a beat. I was, to be honest with you, I was a little disappointed in the way that Van Pelt called the game. In that first 2 drives, it's like, dude, you have a 8-year veteran that probably prepared like he could play this game. Like, dude, we don't need to just run gap scheme for 3 plays and then try to throw the ball on third down. Like, run your offense, dude. You have Jacoby. He's been in there. He showed that he can do it. Like the train should not stop and then have to get going right away. Let him in there. We got nothing to lose, dude. Like, let's go. There's no training wheels. Like, I can get it. Like, Drake gets his first drive of his NFL career. We want to, hand the ball off, make it nice and easy for him. But like, Jacoby's he's not out there to do that shit. So, and you could hear it. You know what I hate? It just, to hear our fans boo and to hear them not, it just, that kills me. That kills me because I know that, yes, because everyone probably like, oh, dang, Drake went down. Here we go again. Whatever. Not that it was freaking all sunshine and rainbows with Drake. I mean, the kid was learning too. I just, you got to get the crowd behind you at home. Like, don't just you got to feed into some of this stuff too. And listen, everyone's got their process, and I'm not going to say that I can be an offensive coordinator because I know that's a hard job. But when you're at home and your fans start booing you, like as a player, that sucks. Because now you just takes the wind out of you, man. And but listen, this team was able to battle through it, which was great. And they were able to work through it, get them excited, do enough to win this football game. But I'm happy for Jacoby, and we've now sparked the quarterback controversy once again going into week 8 here.
Well, who we're rooting for in the media is that we root for the story, and the story
Yeah.
is Joe Milton going home to Tennessee. They're playing the Titans next week.
Yeah.
Let's let Joe air it out, man.
I saw Jacoby went down. He took a hit and
Yeah.
he did not get up right away. I was like, oh shit. I was like, here we go. This is my worst nightmare. Is Joe Milton's gonna come out here and freaking start slinging the rock, and he's gonna shove it in my face. He's gonna throw like 2 touchdowns, smoke the Jets. That was gonna be my storyline. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
My guess is, as we sit here on what is it, Tuesday morning, that Drake is probably going to play. They're going to find a way to get. I know he has to check off all the boxes in the concussion protocol, but there's a long time between now and Sunday. If he doesn't, this is a winnable game. I hesitate to use that phrase with a 2-6 team, but it's still a winnable game. You're going into Tennessee. I still think Drake is the guy, but I remain impressed. And to your point, I remain impressed as to what Jacoby showed, the level of professionalism. I think some of those boos were for Jerrod Mayo and maybe Alex Van Pelt as opposed to Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, 100%, without
Yeah.
a doubt. They were not directed at the players. They were
Yeah.
directed at the play calling, and I agree wholeheartedly. But still, as a player, man, when you're out in that field and you're hearing boos, it's tough not to be like, shit. Like, our fans aren't behind us. We're not going to get any energy or boost from them. Like, we're out here doing it ourselves. And like, listen, credit to New England, man. That's a young team. You're a 23, 24-year-old kid who's never played in the NFL before, and now your home team is booing you off the field. Like, that's tough, bro. But like, they stuck with it, man. And I think we have to talk a little bit about the young guys, because I think there's a little bit of some stuff going on here with our young receivers, which I'm not really in love with, like on social media and stuff. I don't like seeing this. It's not, you haven't done anything, bro. Like, you haven't earned the right to go on social media and talk shit. Like, guess what? Like, if that was Bill, dude, like, you would not even be suiting up for this team. And I retract that statement. I don't want to talk about Bill anymore because it's Jerrod's team.
Well, I got one Bill question for you. I got one Bill question for you, and this kind of leads into that what you wanted to talk about, the soft comment that Jerrod made in the wake of the London game.
Yep.
And I can see you shaking your head, and I can see I think I know what's coming here. Bill was very critical of him, and look, we know that Bill was going to cast a long shadow. I've written this before. Look, we knew that Bill was going to cast a long shadow over this franchise this year. If they were 6-2, they were 2-6. People were going to be rushing to him to figure out or find out what he thought about this team. But the Jerrod stuff, saying they were soft, I want to get your take on that as a player. What was the worst thing? Or is that? Let me start with this. Is that the worst thing that a coach could call a player?
Yeah, that's rough. Being called soft is like you're digging deep into a player, because we play a very physical game, and put our bodies on the line for a number of different reasons. And to be called soft sucks. But like, to be honest with you, dude, like, shut up, Bill. Like, this is not your team. This is Jerrod's team. And guess what? Like, you want to call him out because this is the same defense. Like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't the same team that game. They did not play well. Like, were they soft? I don't know. Whatever. That was Jerrod's feeling. I'm sure that he approached it differently in the team meeting room, and he had his own opinions of like, hey, we need to play better. Like, yeah, maybe soft wasn't the right way to describe it, but did we play our best? Did we play physical? Were all 11 guys on defense run to the ball? Were we hitting guys on offense? Like, were we getting guys on the ground? Like, probably not. But again, dude, this is not your team anymore, bro. Like, and why are you calling out a guy that put his life on the line for you for so many years? Like, just fucking support him. It gets me. It really does fire me up because it's like it's you have a young head coach who's trying to do everything and anything he can in a place that he played and has a legacy and has and won football games and won championships, and now he wants to do it his way and whatnot. Like, just what where's the support? Like, we don't I don't no one wants to hear you call Jerrod Mayo like in the way that I do, he called him soft, right? It's like, is that really like how you want to approach this of not being the head coach of the Patriots anymore, and now you want to come after the guy that is the head coach? Like, I just kind of thought that was bullshit, to be honest with you. I really did.
There are two ways to make this go away. If you're the Patriots or if you're Bill Belichick or whatever the case may be, if Bill gets another head coaching job,
Sure.
if Bill is the head coach of the Falcons this year, he's not going on Pat McAfee every week, ripping Jerrod Mayo and the Patriots. It's 2-6, 6-2, whatever the case may be. Then the other way is to win.
Yep.
Is to win.
Yeah.
Is to win. And if they keep winning and they start stringing a few W's together, then maybe the narrative changes around Bill and around Jerrod. And I'm curious, one more Bill question here. One more Bill question, because I see you're fired up about this. Did he ever call you guys soft behind closed doors? Like, I know the whole thing was after a loss, we got to play better, we got to coach better. And I think the fact that he added, we got to coach better, even though probably some of it was performative for us, went a long way in the locker room, that he at least publicly held himself accountable. So I'm curious how Bill would handle something like that behind closed doors.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when we lost, Bill's first thing he would put it on himself, right? But that's not to say that individuals would get called out in team meeting rooms about their performance. And I mean, I can specifically remember a game against the Jets that, I mean, I've never felt this way about, I mean, he freaking laid into me, like pretty much called me useless and was like, why are you even on the field? And, I had it was a stupid penalty on offense that, I jumped off sides or, something that was like, was it meaningless over the course of a game? Yeah, it was. But this dude called me out in front of enough where people were like, where players came up to me afterwards and were checking on me to make sure I was okay, right? And like, that's cool because I could take it, and I'm the type of player that's just pretty much gonna say, okay, that's that's how you want to approach this. Like, yeah, it's probably just gonna piss me off, and I'm just gonna have to work harder to make sure that that never happens again. Did I think it was the right way to handle it? Fuck no. Like, that's not, like, for a guy like me that literally put everything he had into the 3 years that he was there. Like, do I think I deserve that? No, but he did that to people that, to guys that he think could handle it. Julian got it. I mean, the amount of times he called us, I mean, how much we suck at, if we drop a pass. I mean, it's fine. That was the way that he got the best out of players. And like, it worked for a number of years. It really did, because the expectation level was very, very high. And I think that's part of the reason why he's not coaching in New England anymore, because after 12 left and that team started to change, the expectation level, it went down. Mm-hmm. And his expectations were high, but like, players just like they didn't respond to that anymore. And I think Jerrod is like calling his team soft. Like, dude, this guy was not just a coach. He's not just a dude, right? This guy went out there and freaking did it. Like, we could turn on the tape right now and show how Jerrod Mayo played football. And every single one of those guys in that locker room were going to be like, okay. Right? So he's got that in his corner. And for him to call them soft, like he's got a reason for it. And he can back it up because he did it. And I think that Bill should probably just shut up. Like and stop commenting on a team that you don't coach anymore. I know that that's going to be the narrative, and people are going to, you're on Pat McAfee and the Brady and Eli Manning and Brady, the Brady show, whatever the hell you call it. And I get it. Like people are going to be after you for your quotes and how you feel about games and whatnot. But like, I just think there are some things that are better left untalked about. Like let this guy do his thing, man. He put his body on the line for you for many years. I think the best thing for Bill would be to support this kid and let him turn this team into whatever it is, right? I mean, listen, Jerrod might not be the coach in a couple of years because he wasn't able to turn it around, but like let that be Jerrod, not this whole narrative of what Bill thinks. Like no one gives a shit anymore.
All right, you wanted to get into the excuse me, the wide receivers and some of the social media stuff kind of has
Yeah.
clearly rubbed you the wrong way. Let me do it in the context of this.
Okay.
Give me your favorite thing from Sunday, and I think I know what you're going to say. And give me your least favorite thing you loved and the thing you hated from Sunday.
Um.
I think that we both loved Jacoby, the way he
Yep.
answered Ramondre, running hard, clearly trending in the right direction after the foot issue.
Yep.
And you honestly, you know the physicality that you saw on
Yeah.
both sides of the ball. The thing that I hated, I counted 6 drops
Yeah.
from the wide receivers. And look, Booty, the end of the game, kind of redeemed himself. Big
Mm-hmm.
catch, fourth quarter, set up the game winning touchdown. But as Jerrod said on Monday, he told us they got to be better.
Yep. Yeah. No, they have to be. Absolutely. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it, bro. I mean, we can't sit here and put everything on the quarterback and then everyone else is non-existent. Like you guys have jobs too, and if your head coach is going to call you out and they're going to do some different things, like don't take the social, don't do that. Like just shut up, go get on the jugs, get some extra work in. Like if you're in your own feelings, like there's no place for that, and especially on a team like this because that's just only going to cause more chaos, right? And we don't need that, man. Just own it. You drop passes. I've been there. I've dropped balls. Take ownership of it. It's never the quarterback's fault, right? It's your fault. You did it. You dropped it. Shit happens. Like this is football. You're not going to go out there and catch everything. And I just like to see some of these young guys kind of take the social and just kind of be in their feelings about it inadvertently, right? They're not like doing it saying, "Hey, so and so called me out," and blah blah blah. But you can tell that there's some feelings and some sensitivity behind it. Like, come on, man. Like you have a bunch of young guys on this team. You got a young quarterback and a veteran quarterback that are trying to play their ass off for you guys with an offensive line that's just a Rolodex of we're just mixing and matching and trying to find the right guys to be out there to protect them. Just own your shit. Don't work harder. You know that's all that it is. And listen, we were able to get a game and Bude came up big at the end and make some good catches, but there's a lot of plays and like I'll call him out right. I'll call Pop out right now, right? Like, dude, you are a guy. You are the guy on this team. In the way that I view this offense, you are the receiver of this team, and you have to take the accountability on yourself to be that leader to tell your guys to we need to be better, and B, like we don't need to talk about it, bro. Like just let's go out there next week, turn the page, and let's catch everything that's thrown to us. So like that to me, is a little bit of it's a lack of leadership. I think a little bit in that room. So like someone's got to step up. I know Kendrick is he's easing his way back in here. I know he doesn't feel 100%. I know he doesn't. Like he's still coming. Like I can just tell you the way that he's running and playing. Like it's not with the same energy. And I know that he's just going to hopefully continue to get better, right? And that was a guy that we looked to make plays in big time. But someone's got to step up in that room and kind of make it known, like we're not going to be the receiving core that's going to go into social and go into the media and be like, oh well, f you guys for calling me out for dropping a pass. Like, nah, man, like this is your job. Catch the football. That's it. Plain and simple. Period. Done. Moving on. Let's go.
When you were in New England, what was classified as a drop? I remember having a conversation with Troy Brown once and saying that, look, the coaching staff believes that if you get your hands on a ball and you cannot come in, you can't handle it, that's a drop.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it that simple? Is it that
I think it's pretty
that's
like, let's just make it black and white, man. If you have a chance to get a hand or a fingertip on a ball, I mean, we're not going to go that crazy. If the ball is a little bit overthrown or something like that, and like, listen, I'm kind of calling out Pop on the one that Jacoby threw to him over the middle of the field. It was a little bit out of reach. Like, do I think that would have been a hell of a catch if he made that? Yes, I do. I think that would have been a fantastic catch. Um, but I'm thinking, like, for the things that are just in a guy's hands, and yeah, a lot of this stuff's going to be contested, man. I mean, the margin for separation in the NFL for catches, is like probably less than a yard, right? So you have to be able to make these contested catches, and I think that's something that you just have to practice and just keep working on. So, no more balls on the ground. That's what I want to see.
All right, I want to wrap it up this week because we have Halloween coming in a couple of days, and I
Mm.
want to get your Halloween takes and see if they're spicy as your takes on Bill Belichick and Jerrod Mayo. First of all, what is the best Halloween candy? And keep in mind, if you answer anything other than Reese's peanut butter cups,
That was
we're
gonna
going
be
to have
my
to end this interview right now.
that was my answer. I'm a
Good,
Reese's guy. I'm a
good.
Reese's guy. That's
Thank you. I
me.
know there's a reason why we got along so well. Because you're a Reese's guy. Can I tell you this real quick story? In the press box this year, they put a candy like dispenser
Oh,
near,
that's
like
dangerous.
literally within 5 feet of me. And
That's
on
dangerous.
Sunday against the Jets, I ate my weight in Reese's peanut butter cup, which is really all. I mean, it's going to be a problem over the course of the year for a guy who likes to run. So, all right, best Halloween candy, Reese's peanut butter cups. Worst
100%.
Halloween candy. I look.
I hate Tootsie Rolls, man.
I
Like, if I get Tootsie
Yeah,
Rolls, it's the worst.
Tootsie Rolls or fruit.
Oh, well, yeah.
Fruit.
I haven't seen many people give out fruit, but that's not good
The other
either.
thing too. We had this a couple of years here in my neighborhood. Just people handing out toothbrushes.
Oh,
It's like,
please. Come
look,
on, man. It's
there.
one day a year for these
Yeah,
kids to frickin' splurge.
we,
Listen,
we get it.
I got 4 kids at home. I promise you, they're not eating candy every single day because I'm not doing that. I don't believe in that. But and I promise you this too. The Halloween candy is going to be taken in moderation, right? We're not going
Yeah,
to go home, throw all the candy on the ground, just see how many pieces we can eat. It's
yeah.
like, nah, man, you get here, pick your 5, right? And then we'll throw it in a bag, move it off to the side. Here's your Halloween candy for the next month.
You get and you get it and you get it to last until Thanksgiving.
Yeah, dude,
And
I
it's
could
perfect.
make it last till just
Yeah,
till Christmas. But
yeah.
like, come on, let's not get freaking toothbrushes here.
You
Like,
get
let's
toothbrushes.
go.
You get Tootsie Rolls. I was never a big fan of, but again, fruit, apples, raisins.
Oh, raisins.
Don't
Oh,
be.
don't
Look,
be that. Yeah, don't be that.
let me address the people here. Don't be the family on the block that hands out raisins. Don't be that family. No one likes that family. No one wants to hang around that family. And I can tell you damn sure that they're going to be the least. They're going to get egged. They're going to get their house
Yeah,
is going
that's
to get
it.
cleaned.
Toilet paper, man.
It's don't
It's
give out
shaving
raisins.
cream around here. That's it.
It,
All the kids run around with shaving cream. We got a big neighborhood in our area, and it's like total chaos, man. Because it's just after school, all the young kids are there, and then it's like once it starts getting darker, all the older kids are running around. They got like 50 cans of shaving cream in their bag as opposed to candy, and they're all like running around shaving cream. Yeah, your house is gonna get shaving cream
yeah,
if you're handing out raisins
yeah.
or
That's not good.
toothbrushes.
That's not good. All right, one more. You got a favorite Halloween costume growing up as a kid? What was your all-time favorite Halloween costume? I was Fred Lynn. Because I grew up in New England and I loved the Red Sox, and so I remember being Fred Lynn like twice as a kid growing up.
Favorite Halloween costume. I was Spike from Little Giants one year. That was probably one of my favorites. Yeah. My son this year, you know, is number 12. You know, this is what he wanted. So we got him all the little fake rings off of Amazon. So he's got the rings, he's got the helmet. We ironed on the 12, you know, in his jersey. And you'll actually find this funny. I'm sure people listening will too. We're going to a Halloween birthday party, and he's in the back of the car, and he was quiet. I was just like, you know, are you good? Like what's going on, bro? And he's like, Tom, he doesn't play anymore. And you know, I was like, I don't know, like maybe I should be like Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. I was like, listen, man, you can be whatever you want. I just want you to understand, like the jersey that you have on right now, like that's the GOAT. When they're gonna be talking about this guy for the rest of forever. When they bring out football and quarterbacks, like he's gonna be mentioned. I don't know about the other guys. I was like, but that guy's the GOAT, bro. Like you got the jersey you're wearing is like the best one you could be wearing. He was like, all right, yeah, you're right. So he got all excited about it then. So now he'll have his helmet on, his jersey, pants, cleats, the whole nine on Thursday.
Last question for me: is it the Tampa Bay Tom Brady, or is it the New England Tom Brady?
It's the New England Tom Brady.
It's got to be the New England.
It's got. We're not the Tampa Bay thing. Still is a little. You know, it's awkward. You know, I can't really always wrap my mind around it. So
that's a little tough. That's a little tough to see that.
It's
the
New England for sure.
Yeah. All right, Chris Hogan. As always, my friend, thank you very much for your time. Take care, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, bub.